Hello, everyone. This is Professor Maloney. I forgot that I didn't create my MS Access demonstration video today for the 32 tasks that I typically illustrate or demonstrate, meaning the first 8 tasks from each of the 4 modules. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. It's about 9:48 p.m. You'll be seeing this video at about 8 a.m. So basically 2 hours and 8 is 10 and 12 minutes. And of course, this won't be over for 45 minutes, possibly an hour, because I have a tendency to drag these things on. So in any event, let's go ahead and just go on over. And I've already done an Access overview video. I played it in class on 2 different days, half one day, half the next. So you have a decent overview from that. So I'm not going to talk too much about Access. I'm just going to go and do the work, right? So I'll take the picture off here on me, go on over to MindTap after I share my screen, hide that over here. So this is this class, the 10121, the honors class in the fall of 2022. And today is November the 14th, 2022. I want to go to syllabus. Well, I guess since I'm here, I'll go ahead and show you when the exam is. I think it's next Tuesday, a week from what amounts to being today. But today being the 15th when I show the video. Let's see, 15. Yeah, Tuesday, November 22 is your Access exam, okay? Tuesday, the 22nd, which is the only class day next week, because of course Thursday of next week is Thanksgiving. All right, so I said yes, shoot it, start here, and go on over to MindTap, launch the content. And I'll just go. Of course, I will be talking as always as I do all these tasks. And oops, I was going to open the grade book. All right, so let's see. So you know that I've talked about this every week, so I might as well start. I mean, every video. Also start the same way. Remember, Windows 10 there were 21 tasks. Microsoft Word there were 126 tasks, 6 times the number of Windows 10 tasks in Word. And then in Microsoft Excel, it went from 126 up to about 133. And now this is Access, it's going to go up to about 144. And then with PowerPoint, which will be the last videos I do, it'll go up to about 155. So obviously every successive module has had a lot more, but basically Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint all had more or less the same amount, from 126 up to 155. So that's fairly consistent, but either way. All right, so we're in Access. It's all due on November 21 at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so again, I'm going to pretend it's the 15th. Right now it's the 14th, but tomorrow morning, then you have until the 21st at night. So you'd have 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. All right, rock and roll to finish that. And remember also in Access, it's the only thing since Windows 10 with no projects. Okay, and I told you why there's no projects. It's because Microsoft and Apple could not come to an agreement as to how much Apple would pay Microsoft to allow them to add Microsoft Access in the Office for the Mac version of Office 365 Pro Plus. So since I know a lot of students use Macs, I decided this literally 2 years ago when we went to MDC Live after the pandemic started in March of 2020, and I haven't gone back on that yet because we're still having a lot of classes done with MDC Live. I'll probably stop doing this though next term. But anyway, all right, so Access Module 1 training. And I'll just go ahead and open it up. And I'll try to remember. I always say the same thing, and sometimes I don't remember, but I'm going to try to remember how to count the tasks, even though I told you it's about 144. All right. So start Access. Oh, there's 35 here, so 35 so far. Okay, so to start Access, I can obviously go to my Start menu, and in my Start menu, I can go to the most used. There's Access, or go to the A through Z and A for Access. So that would be the 2 ways. Since this is the one that shows on top, I'll just do this one, and it's done. All right. Now, just to show you, you can do it the other way. So I'll go back to number 1. I assume you can anyway. So Start, and this time instead of clicking the most used one, I'll come to the alpha sort and click access, and again, same thing. So you can do it either way, assuming that question is on your exam. All right, number 2. So create a new database from the contacts template with the name contacts and save it in the default folder location. So you can see here, we're already on an access file opening area. What do we want to do area? Okay, so they're showing us in this view all these options. The normal is a blank database. Just means you're going to create a database based on what you want to do, and you don't need to worry about having any template to help you do things. When my access overview video, which you watched again 2 days last week, 45 minutes one day and 40 minutes I think the other day, I demonstrated creating a blank database. And I also then demonstrated adding tables. Then I demonstrated adding relationships. Then I demonstrated adding records first, then relationships. And then I added queries. Then I added form. Then I added a report. And that was basically it. All right. But anyway, so create a new database. All right. But from the contacts template. So here's contacts. So I click contacts. Right. And they're saying with the name contacts. So here's where the name is. All right. So I'm going to put it, and they're showing you it's going to the documents folder actually. And that is the default folder. So I could click here and just make sure it goes back to documents, but you don't need to do that. As a matter of fact, they're not even letting me. So, they're in the default folder, and I just got to double click in here or just get rid of that text and call it contacts. You don't need to add .accdb because when you save a file, as long as you have the type of file it is, meaning like you have access, I have it on my home computer, but that doesn't matter. You can have this on a Mac because remember, when you're running the trainings, you're doing everything in a pop-up window. I just made the pop-up look full screen, but you remember I can make it look like this, and then you see it's a pop-up, right? So the pop-up is running a virtual machine with Microsoft Office as part of Office 365 Pro Plus, and that's the 2019 version for if you download it. But anyway, so contacts and create. All right, done. All right, next one. Create a new table using table datasheet view with the following fields and data types and in the following order. So that's a lot. They're asking us a lot. Okay, so ID, auto number, and they're saying, of course, that is automatic. So because it's automatic, we don't need to add it. So what I'm going to do first is show you. So again, when you create, it's create. So here's the create tab. Okay, they want a new table. So there's technically there's 3 tables, but SharePoint lists we're not going to be using in this class. So the ones that have the word table are the only ones you have to worry about. Okay, and they're saying table data sheet view. Well, neither one says table data sheet view, but table design is one view and the other view is data sheet view. So when you just have a choice of 2, one is for design, the other is for data sheet. So in other words, this is the table for data sheet. So I click it. So now I'm in data sheet view. If I click the down arrow, it may or may not say I've not done the question right, but I want to show you that in here there are 2 views. One view is for data sheet view, and that'll be the one that's selected, and one is for design. So I'll see if I can click the down arrow. Yeah, I can. And you see data sheet view has the gray icon around that button. See, just to the left up there. I'm away from it now, so you see data sheet though is the gray background. So that's where we are. Okay, so get out of there. Now I'm going to do what they're saying. So they're saying following fields and data type they want me to add, and in the following order. ID, here's ID, which is automatically added by accident. So it's automatically added. So that's just meant to confuse you. You don't need to do anything to that one. All right. So then this is the one we now do. So we have to say click to add. So I click to add for this second one. And which one is it? Comment date. But first you pick the data type. Okay, so I click to add. Then it says, well, what data type do you want? I want date and time. That's what's in between the parentheses. So date and time. And then it's the field 1 for date and time. So now I change this, and they want this called comment date. So I type comment date. All right. So now that's in, and it's in as date and time. Now they want me to add another new field called comments. So again, you click to add, and this one they want long text. So long text is a data type, so we click it. Once we click it, then they put it as field 1, and we rename it to comments. It's already selected, so I just type capital C O-M-M-E-N-T-S. All right, comment. It's late for me. Anyway, so that is that. Save the table. So now let's see if I can just enter it and then hit my save. I'm not sure if they want me to enter. Yeah, I think they did. So I did that. So now that's taken. Now I'm going to just hit the save button, right? And now they're saying, well, save it as with the table name client comments. So again, table 1 is already selected. So I'll say, well, in this case, I got to double click it again or just delete that stuff. But client comments, this is the table. Make sure it's got a capital C for client, no space after client, capital C for comments, and say OK. Done. All right. Let's see here. So that is 3. So now I'm on number 4. In datasheet view of the client's table. So I told you probably in my overview video 2 or 3 times when we're in datasheet view and when we were in design view. But when you see records, that means you're in datasheet view. Okay, datasheet view are all the records in the database, for that particular table. So you can see in this view, by the way, over here, just in case it's on a test, all these are called all access objects. And I demonstrated most of this in the access overview video as well. I showed you having a tables object once you create one. Then once you create a query, you automatically have a queries object. Then once you create a form, you automatically have a forms object. And if you then create a report, you have a reports object. And then of course here they have 2 reports, 3 forms, 3 queries, and 3 tables. All right, but what am I doing? They want me to now in datasheet view, so that's where I am, but you can also do the down arrow over here. And again, you see the datasheet view one has the gray border around that button. Okay, see? So that's where it is. I'll click down here. Hopefully that'll be okay. Yeah, because anytime you click that view, it might mess you up on a test. So be very careful, right? Anyway, in datasheet view, that's where I am. Change the date acquired field. So here's date acquired. So I click the field, all right? So they want it to now be date time. So when you click it in datasheet view, then you have all these things up top. And I want fields, okay? And this particular one is the field that I'm in because I already clicked on it. So they want to change the date acquired to date time. So let's see what it is right now. It's date and time. I can click here to make it date and time, okay? So I shall do it. Oh, no, they didn't want that. Let's see. So over here, let me actually just do a right click just to verify that way. And they want me to change the date acquired to a date time data type. So here, there's nothing about data types. So no, so it's not going to be there. So I go back to fields. So in fields, I want to, oh here, data type, short text, sorry, okay? Now, just to show you, if I'm over here in client name, and again, when I do these other clicks, it may or may not mess it up, but that's also short text. Let me go to phone and see what that one is. That's short text. Let's go to zip. They're all short text. Oh, client ID is auto number. So when I click this thing, or not auto number in this case, the other one was, but number. So you see it flipped. So when you are in the field, though, so that's what you do. You click the field, then you look in the fields, and you want to change this one from short text to date time. So do the drop down arrow, and then you're looking for date time right there. Okay, done. All right. Number 5. In datasheet view, again, we're in datasheet view because you see records. Rename the field name of the manager email address. So that's this one. Field using email as the new name. So right now, this one has a name, and let's see what they're calling it. I usually use design view rather than this, but it's okay because they want you to learn both ways. But I'm going to, again, right click and see if I can rename it that way. And they want me to rename the field. Yeah, so if you right click, in this case on manager email address, click rename field, and now it's selected, and we want to just call it email. So I can really just delete, like if I want it to, I can come here, exactly next to email, and then get rid of the first word, and then get rid of that one. And if you do it this way, though, make sure that the cursor is butting right up against that L, okay? And enter that. Done. All right, number 6. Clients table and data sheet view. Yeah, so module 1 is data sheet view. All right, so with the clients table and data sheet view, change the field size of the state field. So again, now we come to state, okay? We go to fields, and we want to make this field size 2. So here's the field size, it's 255. So I'll just type 2 and enter. Okay. I'll click yes when warned about some data being lost. The size of one or more fields has been changed to a shorter size. If data is lost, validation rules may be violated as the result. You want to continue anyway. The reason they're saying some data may be lost is because this field was 255. Remember, I just clicked 2. They're not looking to see that every state name in this particular case has 2 as a field size, but it does. But they're warning you that, hey, potentially, let's say Maryland was spelled out as M-A-R-Y-L-A-N-D. And then if we would have changed it to 2, it wouldn't go to M-D, though. It would go to M and A. All the other, the letters past the second letter would not be there, okay? But anyway, this is normal, so you just say yes. And save the table, so click to save again. Done. Number 7, the second last one for the first module. In Datasheet View of the Manager's Table, add a new field named Notes with the long text data type. So in this case, all we're doing is adding another field. So earlier, I think it was the first or the second question, we had to add some fields, right? You remember there's a click to add. This is Datasheet View again, right? You see records. You click the down arrow here and you're in Datasheet View. So when you see records, that means you're in Datasheet View. But they want us to add a new field. So remember, all we do is click click to add, okay? And again, first we start with the data type. So it's long text. So click long text. And then they want to call it notes. And enter. Okay, done. So now I'm on the last one that I'm going to do for module 1. You still have 27 others to do afterwards. All right. So in Datasheet View of the client's table, again, this is records. So I'm in the Datasheet View. Enter address as the caption property for the street field. So here where it says street, they want this to say, they want a caption of address, and then address would appear here. Okay, so again, we go to fields, make sure you select the right field first. So street, I select it, and then click fields, and then I want name and caption, most likely. So I'll click the name and caption. So they're saying the name is street, and I want address as the caption. Okay, so address with a capital A, and they didn't tell me to put in a description, so then just say okay, done. All right, so now module 1 is officially over, okay? All right, so I get out of that one. I mean, again, over based on me demonstrating 8 of them for you guys. All right, so now module 2, training, okay? Module 2 starts. So I think there were 35, if I recall, in terms of how many tasks. Here there's 30, so that would be 65 now. Make it large again. All right. So create it now. So now we're doing design view. Create a new select query. So this is a query. A query is a question of the database. Create a new select query in design view using the client's table, including the client name, city, and state fields in that order. So first I make sure that I'm selecting what they want. They're saying using the client's table. So that if it wasn't selected, like if it was manager selected, I would click clients. Okay, single click on. So I just clicked clients to bring it back to being the selected table. So now it is for sure selected. Okay, now you again click create, and now we're in queries because they're telling you query. So you look over here for the queries. So query wizard, query design. There's only 2 choices. They want query design, which is the way I normally do all mine. But anyway, all right. So now, so I've done that. Now they want me to include the client. And so now I'm in the table here for clients, right? And they want me to, so I got to bring the client's table to the query. So you can single click and drag it, or you can double click. So I'll double click, and you see now it's over here. Okay. So then you close this show table dialog box. So close it. And now we're going to be dealing with this. These are the fields. So they're saying, so I've created a new select query. I haven't done anything yet in design view using the client's table, shows clients. So now I want the client name, the city, and state in that order. So what I do, I can either click client, let's see, client name is the first one. I can click it and drag it and release it in this first field if I want, but I don't like to do it that way, okay? And then I could then do the next one, which is city, same thing, take city and move it to the second field. Field is the top one down here, by the way, okay? I don't want to do that. And then the same with state. But what you can do, simpler way, is what I call boom, boom. So double click client name, boom, boom. There it is in the first field. Make sure you keep the order they want though. Double click city, client name city. Double click city, boom, boom, it's there, it's second. Double click state. And again, you could click and drag, but this is easier, in my opinion. So now I've done it. So then they're saying run the query. When you create a query, to run it, you look up on the ribbon and there's an exclamation mark. Technically, you can also just click the data sheet view here by going to the view, and then see now it's design view, and we had data sheet view, remember, but because we're creating a query, then that brings a third view, which is called SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. But if I click the data sheet view, that runs the query too, but they might not like it. So I'm going to run it, but thinking they probably won't accept it. Let's see. Yeah, they accepted it. All right, so you can definitely do it that way. And now they want me to save it as client location. So click to save. It's selected up here, and query 1 is already selected. So they want me to call it client, capital C, locations, capital L. And remember, the two words butt up against each other. I mentioned to you in the Access overview video 2 or 3 times as well, that you should never put spaces unless, of course, in class, on the exam, or in a project, or in a table, in a query, whatever they're telling you to do, you do it the way they say it. But normally, we don't put spaces. All right, anyway, so okay. So that's done, number 1. I'm going to try to pick up the pace a bit because it is late, and I don't really want to be up all night. All right, so with the clients by state query open, okay, resize the client's field list. Oh, okay, so in this case, this is the client's list. And when they say resize, it means this thing here is not going all the way to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is move this here, because they're going to want me to just basically resize means this. You get the resize handle right there, click it, drag it down until there's no space on that vertical scroll bar going down there. Okay, so it's done. All right. Number 3. And remember, this is 30. I think the other one was 35, so it's about 65. In query design view, add an ascending sort order to the last name field. So here's the last name field. They want me to add an ascending sort order. So all I got to do is go to just underneath where it says last name, that's the field, then the tables managers, but in the sort. So you click right there. So I clicked in the sort field, but underneath for the last name field. All right. Then click the down arrow, and we want an ascending sort. So click ascending, and then run the query. Run it right here. Okay, done. All right, so that's number 3. Let's go to number 4. In query design, off the client list query. So here you can see it's selected, client list. So that's what this query is. Add the zip field from the client's table as the last field in the query. All right, so in this case, see, they already have client ID, client name, street, city, and state. So they have all these 5 fields from this table, but now they're wanting to add zip. So you can click the zip and drag it over here, right, and release it right on top of the first column in the field. But I don't like to do that. All you got to do is, if you double click it, it's not going to replace the first one or the second one. It's automatically going to go to the first new, like the next available field. So right here to the right of state is available. So watch, double click zip, and see it's to the right of state. Done. All right, number 5. In query design view of the clients by state. So here we're in queries. You see it's clients by state. So we're there. Delete the first name field. So now they want me to delete a field. Well, it's not client name. It's not state. It's not state name. It's not city. It's not yet. It is first name. Okay. So click the first name field. And then you can just look up here on your ribbon area and you see delete columns. Since you're in this field, it'll automatically assume that's the field you want. So I'm going to click delete columns and it's done. All right, now we're on number 6. So in 3 more, then we're halfway done. Halfway done. All right, add criteria to the clients by state query. You see we're in clients by state to select only those records where the state field. So here again, they have the fields selected for us. So they want us to go to the state field. So here is state, okay? And then there's criteria. They're saying criteria. So here's the criteria row. We just go to where it's got, not state name, state. So we click in the state one, but where it matches up with criteria. If this was Excel, I'd be telling you this column and this row where they match up, and there'd be a name box. Well, there's no name box in Access, so just make sure that you're in the right one. So it's criteria and it's state. Now they want us to put the criteria TX, okay? What this will do is only return fields that have in the state field or the state column, they have TX. So type, and they want capital because they have it in caps. So TX, and when I run it, then you'll see only, of course, we don't know how many of these are in Texas versus other states, but they told us to sort that way. So I'm going to run it. And now you see Texas, 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 but the state field said TX, TX, TX. All right, number 7. In the client list query, here we are, client list again, switch to query design view. So here's the design view, or the views. Remember I said when you see records, that's the data sheet view. So click the view button, the down arrow. And in this case, remember, because we have queries now, it brings us to a SQL view as well. But they said switch to design. So you see data sheet view is the one that's got the gray background. So we click design. Okay. All right, last one that I will do, and then you have another 22 for this particular one, module 2. In design view of the client list query, yeah, same query, add a criterion using a wildcard character to the client name field. So same thing, we're going to be in criteria, but this time for client name. So you're looking for client name right here, and then you go to criteria right here. So client name field, and we're going to criteria. And they want us to select any values of any length that start with the letter M. And that's called a wildcard query. All right. So what we do is we type a capital M here. All right. And then an asterisk. An asterisk is called a wildcard character. Let's see if they say that here. In design view, that add a criterion using that. The wildcard character is the asterisk. In Excel, what was a multiplication, is a wildcard character in Access. And you start with letter M, then run the query. Yeah. So they didn't tell you where it is here, but at some point, somewhere in, this is actually module, where am I? Module, wait a minute, this is module 2? Oh man, I got a lot more to go. Yeah. So earlier though, they told you somewhere about a wildcard character. Okay, maybe in module 1 even. But anyway, so M and asterisk, run it. Okay, done. So that was number 8. So now I've done 16 out of 65. All right, now I'm going to go to the next one, module 3. Module 3, training. By the way, after I do this, I have to then upload it to, well, download it from the session that I created in your class. Then I have to upload it to my YouTube channel, and then that takes about an hour to process. And I'm going to be playing this at 8 in the morning, so I gotta get going. All right, so module 3 start. So I think I said we were at 65 and 44. So that's 109, and then there's one more to go. All right. Create a new form. So now, so we did data sheet view on tables first, then we did design view on table second. Now we're doing, it looks like forms. So we haven't done anything with queries. Well, actually, we also, though, in design view had 2 or 3 queries that were actually maybe 4 or 5 of them actually. Anyway, we did queries, but now we're doing forms. So when they say create, you know it's going to be the create tab. but the first thing is always based on. See, so it says based on the manager's table. See, right now, the one that they're on is client orders. So we got to single click on managers. So it's selected, okay? Or if you do it this way, and then if you do create, and then you click the form and you find whichever form you want, you'd have to you could still do it and change it then to managers, but I'd rather you do it this way. So single click managers, because that's what they're telling you, based on the manager's table. And so, and using the split form tool. So create. Now, split forms are one of these ones that has down arrows. So you see in forms, there's a ton. So there's form, form design, blank form, form wizard, and then these. So I'm going to go to these. I'm looking for split form. It's not in there. And this one, split form right here. Okay, done. Oh, now I have to save the form. Manager split form, capital M, capital S, capital F. So save. And call it manager split. Now, see, they got managers, so I'll just get rid of the S on manager, the S on managers, and now it's manager. So I kept their manager. Now split form, capital S, capital F, and no spaces. So manager split form, okay. Done. So that's number 1 in module 3. With the client entry form in form view. So client entry, you want to verify if you're in form view, you go back up here, and now there's another view. Well, there's 2 views. Yeah, 2 actually. But when you're in forms, you get a form view, and then you get a layout view too. So form view is what they want me, where am I? With the client entry form in form view, use the current record to display the 8th record. All right, so we are in form view was my point. Oh, shoot. If you click it afterwards, see, that's why I said to be careful over here in the view. So I was just saying, look to see, if you get away from it, you see that form has the gray background. That means we're in form. So if you click this thing here, though, then it says you're changing it or you're doing whatever to form view. But if you just click away any other way, like click here, it's okay. All right, so now we're in form view. That was just to verify we're in form view. All right, but you can also tell if you're in form view by if you see records. When these records down here are based on the form view, I can't promise that design view or layout view doesn't have them. So actually, I'll take that back just in case. But anyway, so you can verify it from the view down arrow. Yeah, it's form view. Click away from it. All right. So now they want us to go to the 8th record. So we're on the 1st record. Okay. So we can click this one here, which says next record. We might be able to do it with a search. I'll do the search, but I don't think it'll work, but we'll see. And then if it doesn't, then I'll come back here and just tab 7 times. So I'm going to say 8. That doesn't even let me type it. Let's see. 8. No. So you got to do it this way. So next, 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 next. And once I got to 8, it said it's done. All right. So that was number 2. I'm on 3. So with the client entry form, client entry, now it's saying in form view again. So form view again, navigate to the last record. All right. So we're in client ID 101, and you note again, it says 1st record, record 1 of 14. This is next record. This is last record, the one that's got the greater than sign filled in, triangle to the right and a vertical line next to it. That's last record. So click that, done. All right, number 4. With the managers table open in datasheet view. So here's managers. Oh, we're back to a table and we're back to datasheet view. So I don't know where we're at. Okay, so we're finding things. You find and replace. All right, so we want to find and replace Brian in the first name field with Brian with an I. So Brian with a Y will go and Brian with an I will stay. But we got to do find and replace. But you always have to go to the right field first. Right now they're in manager ID field, okay, or column if you want to call it that. So they want the first name. So you come over here to first name. So now in here, now we're in the first name field. So now I can either click the replace or the find. Let's see, they're saying use the find and replace. I'm going to click replace first, but if it doesn't work, then I got to find it first. So I'll click replace. Okay, yeah. So find and replace. So they're saying find Brian. Remember, you had to be in the right field though, otherwise you wouldn't find it. Like if this was looking for a last name or a manager ID or an email, and I click here and then I do whatever in here looking for it, it won't show up because I remember clicked the first name field up here where it's the dark gray. All right, anyway, so find what? Brian with a Y. replace with Brian with an I. And then let's see what they're saying. So with the managers that use the find and replace to find Brian in the first name and replace with Brian as the new text. So Brian, and then just replace. Okay, so replace. And that looks like it's it. Replace it with Brian. It did replace it with Brian. The Y is now an I. I either have to click the X or I guess cancel. I'll try the X. Yeah. Right. All right. Let's see. I'm on number 5 in module 3. So in the clients by state query, we've been here before. Use the find. So again, this is now going to be using find tool, but with different things. All right. So find tool, to find the first record with Houston in the city field. So again, you click wherever they tell you which field. So here's city, and you click in the name, not the under, the fields under it. But when you click the name, excuse me, when you click the name property or the name, off the column, then it highlights the whole column. Anyway, so now they want me to use the find tool, not replace, to find the first record with Houston. So I'm going to say find, and find what? I want to just find Houston. And let's see. So find, here's a Houston, here's a Houston. There's 3 Houstons. 1, 2, 3. 3 Houstons, right? So I click find next, and now it's on it. Oh, the first record. All right. So because it was going from top to bottom. So Houston, like they're not going to go to this one or this one. I mean, I could then do find next, but since they said they want the first record, if I do find next, it'll probably say it's wrong. So I'll try it but I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be right. Yeah, no. So we do. So again, find what? Houston, and we're there. Okay. So then I just hit the X because we're already selected. So we're in the right spot. So just click the X. All right, done. All right, number 6. All right. Let's see here. With the client entry form, yeah, I've got it. In form view, yeah, I've got it. Use the find tool, find again, to find the first record with Detroit in the city field. So here it's a form, but you got to just click in this field. Doesn't matter where, but click in this city field. So in this field, I now want to find the first record with Detroit. So since Detroit's not in this one and we're in record 1 of 14, it's going to go to either record 2, 3, 4, wherever the next one is that has the word Detroit. So find, where am I? Find and Detroit. Let me pull this over so you can kind of see it again. So type Detroit, find next, and we are in record 11. So it took 10 more fields, more records, till we finally got to this one, okay? And let's see, they don't say to do anything else. So again, I'll just hit the X. So be careful and observe what I'm doing on these things. Some of them, like when you hit X to get out, that's kind of weird. But these, these are forms. Oh my, sorry about that. Anyway. All right, number 7. I still got 2 here, and then I got a whole module 8, module 4. In form view, again, I'm in form view. Form view. All right. Change the city from Houston to Austin for the first record. All right. So here it's Houston. They just want me to change it. So I don't need to use this up there. I can just like click here and get rid of Houston and type Austin. Austin. I assume I'll have to do the save though in this case. So I'm going to hit the save. Uh-oh, no. Let's see. In form view of that, change the city from Houston to Austin for the first record, client ID 101. I just did it, buddy, but if you don't want it done that way, oh, you know what? Because it's okay, I'm in form view here. Yeah, I'm in form view. So to change anything in form view, you click the next arrow, and then that records it. All right, so click it, and now it takes. Okay, got to read it carefully, Professor Maloney. All right. Now, last one for module 3. Using the client entry form, okay, I'm on a form, it's client entry, delete the client ID 101 record. All right, so we're in this field, all right? So, and I'm in 101 specifically. I'm just going to click the delete up here. Delete. Oh, no, no good. Let's see. Using the client entry form, I'm on client entry form, delete the record. Oh, you know what? Yeah, so it's delete the whole record. Delete record. Okay, there we go. You're about to delete a record. If you click yes, you won't be able to undo. Similar to that other warning we got, but in the other one, though, the instruction said click yes to accept that. This one's not saying it, but we are going to accept it anyway. Okay, all right. So now I've done 8 there, and I think we're at 109 or 111. I forget the number now. But anyway, so I'm going to get out of module 3 training because I've done 8 in all the first 3 now. And now I'll go to module 4. Exam training. Start. So I forget the number, but it was 109 or 111. I think 111. So 111 and 34 would be 145. I think I said they were about 144, but it's 145, assuming I count it right. All right, but it's in that range like always. All right, close the client orders table. All right, so now we have a table open. They just want us to close it. Well, to close it, you just right click on it up here and click close. Can you also do it up on the ribbon? Probably. But this is the way I do it. And since it's an option, I'm going to do it. Close. All right, done. All right, now with the clients by state report in design view. So now we're in a report. See, clients by state, and it's design view. If we click the down arrow again, so you see design view has that, so that's fine. So I'll click away over here. Add state as a grouping field. All right, so to add something as a grouping field, so when you see the word state up here, that's like the label. The detail means the record, so I'm going to click in here. I would assume they want me in here. I don't know for sure, though. Add state as a grouping field. So click it. That's what I'm doing anyway. And then up here in the group and sort, click group and sort. Right. Oh, silly me. No. Okay. So click state here, and they already have it up. See, it says add a group down here. Okay. So when you click group and sort, that's correct. But then you got to add it as what they want. In this case, a group, meaning a grouping field. So click add a group. And then, and they want it to be state. So click state, and it's done. Okay. I'd like to do that one another time for you just to kind of show it a bit more. But this is already probably 40, 45 minutes. And in the very least, I want it under an hour. Oh, wait, I am on module 4. So hopefully, yeah. But either way, I'm going to just try to wrap it up. All right, so in report design view of the client orders report. So we're in client orders. You see it's report. Add client name as an ascending sort order. Oh, so this is a similar one anyway. All right, so client name. So I'm going to, not this part, that's the label. So I'm going to click here, client name. And now they want me to add it as a sort. I'm still going to click right here, okay? But when I do that, see, it does populate down here. And now they're saying as an ascending sort. So add a sort. Now this one's got sort going down though. We want it as a sort going up. Oh wait, A through Z with a down arrow there actually means it's going up. So add a sort. Okay, and they want client name. So click client name. Done. All right. Number 4. In the client orders report, we're in client orders, switch to report layout view. So you click your little down arrow here, and we want report layout. So layout view. All right. Next one, create a navigation form. So we're going to click create with the tab arrangement of vertical tabs left. So this is more on the forms. So form design, blank form wizard, navigation. I think is where this one is. So navigation, down arrow, and they want vertical tabs left. Vertical tabs left. Okay, done. All right. Number 6, 3 to go. In report design view of the clients by state report, add the page header and page footer sections. Oh shoot, you know what? I always try to add at least one where it's observe or practice, just to, to remind you can do it. So let's not even look at this one, but it's basically up here. You click this report header for that. But let's go ahead and click. I'll just do the practice. Maybe I won't do a observe.
Add page header and page footer sections to access reports to give context to printed pages. In Report Design view of the Clients by State report, right-click the Report Header section. Right-click a section bar or any part of the report itself. Be careful to right-click the report and not a control on the report. The shortcut menu allows you to add page header and page footer sections, or report header and report footer sections. In this case, you want to add the page header and page footer sections. The page header and page footer sections are added to the report.
Okay, so in here, so again, right up here I said on this white line to the right of where it says report header, just right click on it, and then you want to add page header and footer. Okay, done. All right, 2 to go. In report layout view of the sales by region report, add sum totals to the sales column. So in report layout view, so we're in layout view. Okay, we're in, this one shows layout and design. I think that's actually how the layout view works. It works in consort or in conjunction with design, but it is in layout view since it shows it, so that's fine. So now add sum total. So it was on this one, by the way, when I came here. Okay, but we need to be on numbers because we want to add totals. If you look up here on the ribbon, you see here's totals. Okay, but if we click like this number for the first number underneath sales, now they're all selected, and see now I can click totals. Okay, and they want sum totals, so sum. So there's sum right here, so click sum, done. And the last one, yay! All right, in report layout view, so again, click the view button, report layout, yeah. So they work in conjunction with each other, but I am in layout view, so that's fine. Apply bold formatting to the client orders label at the top of the report. Okay, so in here, this is a nice easy one. So just click that, and then we want to go to the home, and we want to make it bold. Okay, done. All right, so that is long enough. Have a great day. I'll see you in the morning, which means I'm basically seeing you in a few hours. Rock and roll. Uh-oh, let's get out of there. Where am I? Oh, I got to get out here first. All right, so there, get out of there. And then over here, this is where I am. I'm going to stop my recording. Have a great day.